Does your website work for your business? Hi, I'm Appy, and I code Happy. I'm a website advisor, which means that I built websites for a long time, and now I focus on helping people who build their own websites and manage their own sites to make sure they have a website that serves them and their business. What does that actually mean? What does it mean to have a website that works for you? It means that people buy the domain, they build the website, and then they don't know how to use the website for their business, or the website they built doesn't fit for their business. A website that works for your business, I've said that a few times. What does that mean? It means that the goals you have for your business, the website is actively helping you reach those goals. So let's talk about an example. I built a website for somebody one time, and I asked them, like I always do, what do you need this website to do? And she said, I have a website. It's really complicated. I don't use it. It has all these features and it's just a pain and the price keeps going up. It was a website on a platform built for her profession. She said, I think my only option is to go with a digital business card, just a placeholder website, something that I can list on my business card. People know I have a website, and so I am more legitimate as a business. And I said, wait a minute, let's talk about this a little bit. As I asked her more questions, I was able to see where we could really simplify her website. There were a few things we could put on her website and make sure it included so that it would help the people who came to the website, and it would help her too in her admin of her business. So when we got done, she was thrilled. She said, I thought I would just have a business card website, but now I have something that works for me, that is going to be helpful to the people that I send to it. And it helps me because it's saving me admin time. That's the kind of transformation that we want. That's the kind of difference that thinking about your website as serving your business and working for your business goals can make. So how do we do that? There are 3 areas where you can evaluate your website and make sure that it's working for you. The first is it serving your audience? In just about every audience, there's going to be more than one type of person. And if they're all the same type of person, they're going to be at a different place in their journey. They're going to come to you at different stages of knowing you, understanding your business, being aware of your business. So the person who's just run across you on social media and then comes to your website, what do you have for that person? Can they find what they're looking for as someone who's not very familiar with what you do? What about the person who is aware of you? They've been binging your content for a while, or they've been following you for a while, and now you're posting about something that gets them really excited and they come to your website. What about that person? Do you have a way for them to take the next step? Maybe they're ready to buy. And if you don't have a next step because you've only set up your website for the people who have just run across you, then that can leave these other folks out. What about existing customers? Do they have a way to let you know they need something else or let you know if they have a problem? When you build your website and when you set up the way it flows and the way it works and the content that's included, you can think about these different types of people that are coming to your site, and you can make sure that you have the resources to help them all as they're coming to your site, as they're entering your world and hanging out with you for a while. So my favorite example about this is, what about a property management website? That's pretty easy to picture. You have lots of different people who might come to this website. You have somebody who's looking for a rental and they're going to see what your listings are. You have somebody who is currently renting from this property management company. They need information on how to pay their rent. But what about the person who needs a phone number to call or text at 2 a.m. because they have plumbing issues? That's a critical need that needs to be addressed on the website. There are always trade-offs in what you prioritize and what you don't, what you make available to the public and what you put behind a login or in some kind of gated off content. So it's something to think about and consider. What is best for you, for them? How is that going to work? So that's the audience. The second area to evaluate your website is, how is it serving you as the business? Do you have needs for admin functions? Do you need connections to inventory management or accounting? Do you need analytics, numbers to come from this software so that you can make decisions? Do you need to make information available that can save you from answering the same email 100 times? From the story that we were talking about earlier, my website, where we went from the business card idea to a website that would serve the audience and her as the business owner, that was one of the things we did. She was a CPA, so her clients always needed links to forms of various kinds. We made a whole page of these links. We kept an eye on them and updated them because sometimes they break. Then she could just send them to that page instead of having to come up with the same email all the time. It's all on the page, and that saved her a bunch of time on the admin side. That's the second piece of evaluating your website, is how does it work for the business side? And the final area, does your website work for the manager? If you are the one managing your website, does the website platform work for you, for your brain? Does it work for your technical skill level or your technical preference? You might have the skills to deal with WordPress, but maybe you don't want to. And if all you need is a Squarespace website, basic pages, why would you invest time in something that is not serving you? If you're on the other side, Squarespace or Wix is not serving you, you really want the fine-tuned control that WordPress offers you, and you're okay with learning how to take care of it, taking on the responsibility of the security and the backups and the maintenance, that's awesome. It's going to serve you. But considering that, there's a lot of different platforms that just the experience of using them fits different ways of thinking. And a platform that I can't stand might be perfect for somebody else just because their brain works a little differently or because it's closer to what they're used to. And that's a valid evaluation point. Are you going to change platforms just because you hate the one you're on? No, there's other factors that need to go into that. But it is worth considering. If you are fighting and hating your platform all the time, it makes it a lot harder to maintain your website. And if it's a lot harder, then are you going to do it as often? It's something that seems silly, seems like it shouldn't be a factor, but it affects you. So it affects your business. So it affects your clients. If you don't like the platform, it's harder to make yourself go update and do the maintenance. So just something to think about. A lot of times there are multiple options that get you to the same place. And if your website platform is one that you just don't like, have trouble working with, then consider whether there's another option that would offer the same functionality at maybe a similar budget. And maybe it would be worth considering whether you might want to make the investment of time to switch. There's always a cost for switching tools, but it might be worth it if you just can't stand the one you're in. So here's an example of a place where we were really intentional about the experience that we were offering to the various types of visitors as they're coming to the website. For this example, we built a Squarespace website with all kinds of information that would help somebody who is new to this brand Chugwater Beef Co., or somebody who wants to come and just shop the products immediately. And if that's the case, then they can click Shop Now. What if they have questions? We added a chat functionality that Shopify offers now with some instant answers. So we really tried to make sure that this website offers as much customer service as possible. And that was an intention that we set from the very beginning. We've talked about how to make sure that your website is working for you. And we've talked about the 3 different areas that you can evaluate your business to make sure that that's the case. We've talked about whether your website works for your audience, for the various kinds of people in that audience that might be coming to your website. We've talked about how the website serves the business with admin functionalities of various kinds. And we've talked about how the website serves the manager with an emphasis on what the manager needs and prefers in order to have a website and a website platform that is going to make it as easy as possible for them to keep the website updated and working well. If this has been helpful and you would like to keep going, I have a freebie. It's called How Often to Update Your Website, and as well as recommended frequency. It also gives you some lists of what to do and when. You can print this off and use it to go through your own website. And when you download this, it'll put you on my email list. I send free weekly website tips, and I'd love to have you join me. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again.